state, isn't it? We might be a nation pretty soon. You never know. All right, at the beginning of our meetings, we always offer an opportunity for people to come and speak. We limit it to 3 minutes. If someone has something they want to say, step up to the microphone and say it. Mr. Cruz? Is that on? Is there a light on it?
No.
Come on.
Well, I've never been to a commissioner's court meeting, so this is my first one. So I probably should have come a long time ago. But what I'd like to talk about is, I don't know if y'all are doing the constable's budget,
We're doing the entire budget tonight.
but, you know, the constables that we have potentially, they cost our county some money, and no telling how much more they're going to cost us. And I just ask that if, we were in this very courtroom when we watched the trial, that they illegally seized those cattle. And I don't know if they're worthy of the job, They might not be able to handle it. And whenever, it cost the people that fought for those cattle, those cattle could have been taken and never come back again. They're worried about their budget, but they weren't worried about that family's budget. They were just going to take them and no telling where they were going, because someone's going to profit off of them. And I don't think that they deserve any kind of increase in their budget. And in fact, I ask that y'all would cut their budget and their salary, because they are up to no good. If they need, y'all ought to wait on their uniforms, because they might need an orange or black and white one. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. All right, I'll ask the commissioners to speak up as we move through this. If you have a problem with any particular budget item, so that we can move through this, make any adjustments that we need to make, and get on to the next page. We have an overview sheet, the general fund budget on the front. Is there anything there? Do we need to move on to the departmental budgets? Any questions on page 1 with the general fund budget?
I guess this is for Roy. The Stone Guard, we won't be able to get that this year. You probably ought to sit up here. I see we had an increase in the Border Star.
Well, if you'll look, there's been an update since you received. I put a new packet in each one of your boxes today. If you'll look to where the little pink tab is on there, you'll see on the far right, right out here, I guess towards the middle, 2022 adjusted, and those are the updated numbers. Boulder Star, we just got the new numbers on Friday. We were hoping to get $65,000. We're getting $10,000 from them, and we're getting $21,890 from Stone Garden.
Okay.
So those numbers just came in Friday afternoon. So on our budget, if you want, as you flip through, you'll see that 2022 adjusted is what the current numbers are. And then after I met with Rusty and went over some things, because we were able to reduce some of the initial line items that were in there for a little bit of savings.
That's all question.
Thank you.
Revenue.
So before you leave, would you mind saying that again? The Border Star is how much?
21,890.
So it's lowered from 65.
That was Boulder Star is 10,000. Stone Garden is 21,890.
And in our packet, it's 0 is for the,
Yeah, because that came out before either one of those grants were finalized from the state to let us know how much they were.
but it's still there's somewhat of a deficit there between the
Yeah, it
original
still
numbers
doesn't
and the
come
new
out to 65,000. You got to look at it. It comes out to to 41,000 is what it comes out to. And that kind of triggered a conversation between Rusty and myself to start going back through and looking at the budget and see what we couldn't do on some stuff to initiate some different savings.
Thank you, Sheriff.
No problem.
You should sit close. Any other questions on the general fund budget?
Yes, sir, I have one more question. I was looking at the EMS fees of 409,500. I'm just wondering, I did speak to the treasurer earlier. I would like to have, not this year, not the current year, but the previous year, how much did they bring in? And what's the estimated amount for this year?
Okay. I did sweep the recovery, this bank account today. Last month was 35,000 in recovery from the company that picks it up for us, and today was 33,000 for the month of.
And which
Right.
makes it a total of what?
Well, I don't know what the total is. I just off the top of my head, I remember last month's was 35,000. This month was 33. I don't know what the combined.
Well,
Nothing's
that's-
been less than
That's
25.
right, that's very close to $409,000.
Okay. Use
Nothing's
those
been lower than 25 on recovery this year per month.
No month has been less than 25,
25,000.
25,000.
Right.
So when we form budgets, we have to do our revenues in a lot of cases on best guess. We use last year's income. We use what we're trending with this year, and you use your best guess. There's no way of knowing that we're getting 409, 400, or 425. There's just no way to know. So what we do is use the data that we have, and we try to formulate a best guess. That's what contingent is for, uncommitted. If we run short, we're able to pick it up without creating an unbalanced budget, a deficit budget.
The numbers that y'all have seen and Brian has given y'all, those are net of the fees that EmergentCon charges. They charge us basically, and it depends on if you're a county resident, non-resident, but the average is, say, around 6%, between 6 and 7%. So any numbers that Brian says he swept, that is net of those fees. So because when you look at EMS budget, you're going to see a billing fee.
Right.
Okay? Any questions?
So you're saying that they haven't taken out their fees yet out of this?
No. When Brian sweeps the account, their 6-7% is deducted.
Okay.
It's already out of it.
It's already taken out.
It's net to the county. All right, page 2, general fund budget detail. Questions? It's a revenue page. Page 2 and 3 are both revenue pages. Any questions on that? Page 4, general fund budget detail, fiscal year 2022. This one's my office. Any questions on that? District clerk, county clerk, page 5. Questions?
She gave us an updated,
I'm sorry?
she gave us an updated one, her.
She did give an updated.
Right, the
Uh,
copier.
She gave us, that's not what she gave us when we formulated the budget. We went by the numbers that she gave us when we created the budget. This is late in the game. When this is over with, when we went through these pages, we're going to adjourn into an executive session. We're going to talk about some payroll. Then afterwards, when we come back in here from executive session, we're going to adjourn, and we're going to crank this back up at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. cannot hear you.
Mary Ellen told me that she submitted an email to Rusty with these proposed increases, and they were not in those budgets that y'all set.
That's correct. When I turned in the budget sheets to all the elected officials and department heads, hers came back and it did not have these increases on it. To eliminate this sort of thing, I go to every department head in the county and I say, here's your sheet, tell me what your complaints are, tell me what's good, tell me about increases, needing more toner for your copier, all the above.
Okay,
She did not submit that.
okay, thank you.
Page 6, Veteran Services. I don't see Joanna.
No, hope not, she's retired.
No, she still
She
does.
still handles veterans, and we
Okay.
have another lady that's handling the indigent care. Non-departmental, page 7. First line is the stray cattle. Questions?
You added a Halo flight contribution. What is, I just saw that today. I didn't. I would add. Say it again. They did? What is that, though? That, I mean, that's a helicopter, right? There's 4 different companies. Just from one company? Okay, okay. It was just something different than last year.
Justice Court, page 8. Judicial County Court, questions? District Court. Place 1, Justice of the Peace. Justice of the Peace, place number 2. Elections Administrator. County Auditor. County Treasurer.
You said we're going to talk some payroll or whatever in executive?
We're going to discuss payroll in executive session.
Okay, this part of it, or,
No, the executive session takes place in the,
I know that, but I mean on,
sir?
are you talking about the pay raises, or are you talking about, I mean, can I say something about the 2 part-timers for the auditor and the treasurer?
You're free to say anything you want to, sir.
Okay. I do agree they need some help in both of those offices. I was wondering if y'all got the door open now, which is great between y'all, if y'all could share one part-timer between the 2 of y'all.
That's shared.
Say it again?
We'll be sharing that, yes.
Yeah, sharing one, okay. And I do. Yeah, very good. And I do see, you put in for a pay raise again for your deputy chief, or chief deputy.
That'll be discussed in closed session.
Okay.
Tax Collector. Michelle? Mr. Bramani, County Attorney. Andy, Information Technology. You good? is what it is. Comments?
Good.
Buildings, yards, and annexes. We put in for a maintenance man this year, and this old building is needing a pat on the back, and we had to put some money in to do some necessary maintenance. We've got air conditioning problems and other things, so there was an increase there. Page 20, County Auditorium. I believe EMS is good. Page 21. Fire Department contributions. Commissioner Morales, comments?
Good with it.
Precinct 1 Constable. Sheriff's Office. Any questions? Game Warden, page 27.
We lowered their budget $400. Is there a reason they didn't use it all, or this past year, or?
They did not come to me with anything. We look at where they're at present for office supplies. They're well within. Last year, at the end of the budget time, we bought a pair of boots for the game warden, which doesn't hardly qualify for office supplies. And we bought a field camera for DPS, which also does not meet the standard. Emergency management. Constable place number 2. Highway patrol.
Again, we lowered theirs again.
Sorry.
Again, we lowered theirs from 1,000 to 250.
Sheriff, how many highway patrolmen do we have at present? And how many highway patrolmen is Goliad County supposed to have?
We're supposed to have 3, but on average, we have a trooper here about 1 day a month. That's what we're averaging. So, because they're all tasked down to the border and they're shorthanded. So, we have the one that's supposed to be here. He lives in Carnes. He offices out of DeWitt. So, and he spends half his time at the border. So we very rarely see him.
Thank you. License and weight. Health Department. Culture and Recreation. The library. Ag Extension Office.
First off, I'd like to thank the court for the salary increases for my staff. One question, I know we cut my travel, and I didn't travel this much this year because of the pandemic. Just want to put it out there. Next year, I may be pushing that level, but we'd like to try. the 4,000. The other issue is my copier. I'm not for sure why my copier is doing what it's doing. I think we're at 54% right now, and I think the budget ought to be around 66% depleted. So that may be another place I may go over next year, but it is a lease deal, and it may be getting cheaper every year. Those are just my two comments.
Where did you want your travel moved to?
I would like to try it at 4,000 and see how it goes, with the caveat of, with hopefully no pandemic next year, we may travel more.
Thank you, sir. Skip page 36. Ad valorem Road and Bridge, Precinct 1. Ad valorem Precinct 2.
Good, Judge.
You're good. I like that. Ad valorem Precinct 3.
I'm good.
Ad valorem Precinct 4.
I'm good.
Move to the Special Road and Bridge. On page 42, we have the total revenues. Questions, comments? Precinct 1.
Judge, I talked with Rusty this afternoon, and we've made a few adjustments to it to the next version.
And we were going to move yours to 250 from 200,
Yes, from 300.
so from 3. Yes, sir. Anything else, sir?
Well, we moved, we put some in the ad valorem side.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
It's
And we,
part of the deck shuffling.
that and we raised my salary for my wages up for one more man,
So you're adding another full-timer?
three men.
All right. Precinct 2.
I'm good. The only thing I hadn't gotten with Rusty yet to see, I think I have enough monies in there for a third full-timer. Is that correct? I know I had it in the budget, previous budget. Is that correct, Rusty? Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Brumby?
Yes, sir. I'd like to ask the auditor on 707 and 712, I have zeros. If it's zeros and something comes up, if there's a small amount in there, $25, it's easier. Can you transfer money into a zero line, or does it need to be something there? So I'm asking to put $25 or something in there, each one of those two lines, 707 and 712. $25 will be fine. That way it's easier to transfer money in.
You can still transfer money from the other items in there. Is that correct? Even though it's a zero, Rusty?
I would prefer that there be a balance.
Oh, okay.
That's the goal
What,
every year.
could you do that? I guess all of them, I had some of those also.
Yes, sir, please.
Precinct 4.
I'm good. Thank you.
Consolidated road and bridge budgets. Any comments on those? They're pretty much set in stone for the most part. Commissioners, does anyone have a comment they need to make? What the intention is this: we need to go into closed session and talk about some payroll issues, and then we're gonna come back in here and we're gonna adjourn until tomorrow night, and we'll take it up where we left off. We have to advertise 10 days in the paper prior to adopting the budget when there are pay raises involved. So our next regular meeting is on the 13th, Monday after next, and my intention is to try to vote on it then. So we're going to try to wrap this up tomorrow night, and then we will put the advertisement in the local newspaper and the Advocate, and we'll try to adopt this budget and the tax rate on the 13th of September, if no one has any problems with that. We got a little bit too close last year. We were within a day or so. So, any comments? All right. At this time, we're going to adjourn, and we're going to go in here and talk about some payroll things. We're going to come back in here and recess until tomorrow night. So I appreciate you coming a lot. It's always good that you know how your government works, and this is just a small part of it. We appreciate it, though. Thank you.
The only thing I would advise the board, you can't make any decisions in closed session.
Right.
Give the time we're going in, Judge, please. Judge, will you give the time we're going in, the session? Give the time.
That would require me to have a watch.
6:26.
Okay, we're going to adjourn at 6:26 and go into executive session.
Thank you.
Do you have a tape recorder for me, Ms. Vicki?